All right, Nick. Good to see you again,
Hi,
buddy.
Coach. Good to see you. How are
Yeah,
you?
so I'm doing really good, thank you. And I know you're doing well because I looked at your stats and they're looking good, man.
Thank you.
It's really good.
Um, I've tried eat a lot, like not a lot, like eating small portion per day. So,
Mhm.
um, like you have to eat, like you cannot like stop eating immediately, like one or two meals a day, and then one or two big meals a day is I think it's bad, but it's better if I eat like divide it into like five or six small meal a day. And then with the workout, I think it's helped a lot. And I lose a lot of weight too, which is really good.
Yeah, and okay, so let's make it clear though, because the reason why I like to work with tennis players, specifically is we have an outcome we're looking for. That's a
Hmm.
little more than, hey, look in the mirror, and you're looking in the mirror, you're like, oh, I look pretty good, which is nice. Yeah, but we're looking for results.
Yeah.
So, like it'll be interesting. Hopefully you can play in the Colorado State tournament. Maybe we can play doubles
Yes.
together. We'll see
Yes.
my coaching schedule. But regardless, I want to know how you're feeling on the tennis court compared to maybe a month and a half ago. I mean, you were 190 pounds. Now you're 15 pounds lighter. I mean, that's insane.
I mean,
That's really good. So you basically, I mean, let's put this in perspective, okay? Right
yeah.
now, if you
Yeah.
wanted to go back in time, Nick, I would have to put a 15-pound vest on you to play tennis. You know how hard that would be to play, right? Like
Very hard.
what
Yeah.
you did. That's
Yeah.
incredible. So, but
Thank
I
you.
still want to know how you're feeling on the tennis court.
So I hit with my friends today on the courts. Like just like I hit with you yesterday too.
Yeah.
I feel, I mean, very big difference between now and 2, 3 months ago. To be
Yeah.
honest, is I'm feeling really I'm getting to the balls right away. It's not something like I'm running back and forth, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to the ball whenever the drop short or they put me off the pace. I'm there. I'm not like just standing there and look anymore. My feet is kind of my foot is kind of active right now. I just want to run instead of just sitting there and looking at the balls.
Yeah.
But I think I should work on my footwork and my thighs so I can do like better on court,
Okay.
better than now. Yeah,
So
I want
let's
to.
get into that for a quick second here. Yeah, because I think
Hmm.
people can relate to what you're saying. They're like, okay,
Yeah,
feeling what's the next step and all that. So, let me ask you this. Do you feel like you are moving to the ball and doing well and then too tired over time to do it? Or do you feel like you just need to train yourself to just be faster? Like you can do it physically for a long period of time, or are you more to the point where you're not feeling like you can constantly do it? I guess is the question.
I love that question. I want to do it like keep like contain like I want to no more tired on the courts.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yep.
if I hit with you
Mhm.
for 10, 15 balls, I want to be able to keep it up like without out breath.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
the question then is more specific after that. So if I ask someone that, I'm like, okay, you're out of breath. Okay, good. I
Uh-huh.
got that part. But how are your legs feeling? Do you feel like pretty strong leg wise and you're just out of breath and got to catch your breath? Or do you feel like um you're out of breath? Obviously, you said that, but also do you feel like your legs are a little like feeling weak after like a 15 hit rally, you know?
Um, it's yeah, it's kind of feeling weak, because it's getting like kind of sore and
Okay.
kind of
Right.
hurt on the thigh,
Okay.
when back and forth for a
Yeah,
while.
yep. Okay,
So
so that means there's two
yeah.
things then, Nick. Two things.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
The first thing is you are feeling out of breath, and then you're feeling sore, like
Yes.
fatigued.
Yeah.
So fatigued and means your muscles need to get stronger.
Mhm.
Okay. So, you need to start thinking about I would dive into that fitness course a little more and, think about doing like one-legged strength exercises. I have like one-legged deadlifts in that course, one-legged lunges, one-legged squats. I like one-legged stuff because first of all, it doesn't put a lot of strain on the body. When you do two legs, you have to lift heavier. And sometimes
Hmm.
that could put a lot of pressure on your spine or in positions that just don't feel good. But if you go
Yeah.
one-legged, it feels a little, it's not as much weight, but it
Yeah.
helps with balance. And how
Yeah.
many times are you on one leg in tennis? A ton, right? So
Yeah.
being on one leg is important to be able to balance that. So I think strengthening one leg at a time, doing lunges and things like that, and
Okay.
would be really good. And then work on your core, right? So that would be a good thing. And then light weights on the upper body, like like when you're doing I would say like shoulders and things like that. You're going to want to do a lot of lighter weight there, but I would do definitely a lot of stomach and one-legged exercises to strengthen.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
And let me know, just text me, let me know if you have any questions on that. I can send you some videos if my courses don't make sense. But the other part is the
Yes.
cardio. So the cardio is where basically your body isn't getting enough oxygen to make you be able to work that hard for that long a time. So for example, when we were doing the back and forth, I hit down the line, you hit cross court or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we were both running pretty hard, right? But like when we're
Yes.
done, the difference is I'm not as out of breath. So therefore, the next point can help me. Even though you might be the better player skillfully, I can beat you now because now the next point, you're not going to be able to play as hard, right?
True.
So that's the
Yes.
cardio part too, right? So what I would suggest is instead of all your steps, we haven't really talked about this yet, but it would be
Hmm.
interesting to see if you could log in a few miles of running
Yeah.
a week, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So, like we can just start small. So I know you got your steps down, but it would be nice to maybe and change steps to miles for a little bit and
Okay.
just see because I think the steps are great. You have it on your phone, you have it so you can check your steps anytime. I feel like you don't really need to log that because you can track that yourself. But what kind of
Yes.
steps are you taking is what I'm saying, right? So that's where I feel like you could really help with your cardio. So remember yesterday after our, you were busy, but I'm like, hey, you want to come, work out in the afternoon for track, So what we did is we basically did 8 rounds of 400-meter runs. So that's a half a lap around the course. So it's basically an eighth of a mile. And we did it 8 times. So we sprinted for a mile.
Wow.
Okay. But not straight.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we're not like, I mean, we're tennis players. We're pretty good, cardio is okay, but like we're not like track athletes. So, some people will look at it and go, that's not a big deal, but it is hard, to sprint for an eighth of a mile, rest, and then you get like, I would say probably about 3 minutes before you run your next one. So you get like a 3-minute break and then you run hard for the next one. And running a half a lap around the court around there should take you, if you do it right, you're looking at maybe a minute or so, about a minute, because if you do it in a minute, times that by two and multiply that by four, that's actually you should be doing it in about 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. So what I
Got
did
it.
is I had two other friends with me. Actually, my brother and Kobe was there. Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I ran a quarter mile or an eighth of a mile. It took me about 30 seconds. So that was a 4-minute mile pace. So it was pretty decent, right? And then I
Yes.
rested while Kobe went and did his. And then my brother went and did his. Then it was my turn again. So basically, I did that completely wrong. We have about a minute break between each one. So
Hmm.
that was good cardio. It wasn't like fast speeds. It was just like run hard and then there. So that's one way of building up cardio. I like that more than just running because when you run, you're building cardio, but you're not building quickness.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
you're teaching
Yeah.
yourself to run slow, right? Like when you go for a
Yeah.
jog, all you're doing is learning to be slow. I mean, watch someone jog, it doesn't look that fast, right? Like,
Yes.
so what I like
Yeah.
to do is even if I'm running maybe a couple miles, I might sprint and then I'm gonna jog. You know, when I
Okay.
say sprint, like run hard, right? Run hard and then like, okay,
A
then
jaw.
relax, then chill. Maybe fast walk if you have to. So you're constantly moving, but the cardio is going, but now you're working on increments that are a little bit more related to tennis. I mean, how many times do you walk to the tennis ball?
No,
No, you don't.
we
Like,
always run.
yeah, you're always
Yes.
running, right? So why not practice that a little bit more, but also practice the recovery? So it would be really good for you to be able to do like a sprint and then a jog, because then you're like training your body to recover while you're still moving, which is not easy to do, right? Because
Yes.
if you can do that, then you know how easy tennis will be after you're sprinting and running for a 15 ball rally. You're going to be able to recover really quick because you're not moving. You're standing still after that, right? Like basically, you're
Got
breathing,
it.
calming, and you're like, your body's like, oh, well, this is easy. Usually, Nick, you're jogging. This is way easier, and you recover fast. Your heart
Yeah.
rate drops and you're able to play hard the next round. So why
Mhm.
don't we just tinker around with giving you, I'm going to give you a goal of doing like 2 miles worth of like running hard, running fast for the week, and just see if you can run more than that or less, whatever. So
Okay.
maybe you have a 10-minute break, and you go outside and you kind of figure out, like for me, my block around my house. And we can do this when we work out. Usually, like when Colby and I will go in the gym sometimes, or my brother, or if I'm working out with somebody, one of us will run around the block. That's about in a quarter of a mile
Okay.
for us. So a quarter of a mile, and then the other person's working out, and then we switch. Then the other person who's working out goes runs while the other person works out. So you're constantly keeping the heart rate up, right? But the idea
Yes.
is, like I know my quarter mile. So if you know your distance, maybe you run really hard for a quarter mile, and then maybe you jog for a quarter mile, then run hard for a quarter mile, and then jog for a quarter mile. Okay, you're done.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
So 1 mile, you did 2 laps, half of the mile was hard, the other half was not so hard. But that counts
Yeah.
as 1 mile of cardio.
Okay.
Okay. So let's get
Yeah.
into this. I think we're on to something. I want to share and show off your stats too, because it's just so good,
Thank you.
right? So
Yeah.
you were at 190 on June 10th. Now, about what, 6, 7 weeks later, 6.5 weeks later, you are at 175 pounds. You said, I think I quote you on this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said you've never weighed this low in your adult life.
Mm, no, coach. This
Yeah,
is the first time I ever seen this kind of number in like in my entire life.
that's great.
Like I've never seen this before, to be honest.
Good.
I yeah.
So
Um
we want to keep going.
la
It's great.
Yesterday morning, yeah, yesterday morning was I stepping on the scale and I showed my mom and she was like, "Oh my gosh, his
Yeah,
work."
that's so proud of you. I mean, you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
And as
Uh
people can see, it's not a linear line. It's not a diagonal. You went here and then you even gained weight remember this, right? So
yes, yes,
it happens. It's not a perfect journey, right? And you might
yes,
gain weight a little again. It's okay. We're just making good progress overall. From point A to point
yes.
the end, we're doing great. So good job.
It's a good experience and it's good at learning of how to lose weight. So it's a good back 2, 3 weeks ago
Mhm,
I tried to eat less but the weight is going up and then I felt kind of weird. But
mhm,
then I tried to eat like a small portion or at a time. Right now I'm doing like 4 or 5 of the small portion every time I eat,
mhm.
and it's work. Plus the workout too. The staff and the tennis on courts. It's really it's work. I really happy to see those numbers, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that. And I think my goal is to get more, since we're seeing this now, I want to start adding more muscle because
Okay.
the more tone you get, meaning more muscle, less fat, you're going to be able to sit down just like you are now,
Hmm.
and you
Okay.
are going to be able to burn calories faster if you have more muscle than if you had less muscle. So that's your
Okay.
metabolic rate and how fast you can burn calories. So you don't have to rely on working out all the time when you already lean and have muscle. So your body adapts to its circumstances. So it's going to, if you give it less food, the body's going to go, well, okay, how do I get my energy? Oh, from the fat you have. Okay, I'll use that. But it's not like the body, it's harder to get to the fat. It's just harder. So that's why it's relying on sugar and wants to tell you that. So it kind of screams at you, hey, you're hungry. You're hungry. Eat sugar,
Yeah.
eat carbs. And then when you go, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my thing, eat protein, eat healthy fats, things like that. Then it's like, crap, I don't have any, I don't have any easy energy to get to. So it has to go
That
to your
is
fat,
true.
right? And that's what it does.
Yes.
So that's why we're going to add this, by the way, and we talked about this already, but how long did you
Yes.
fast today? So I'd love to see how this experiment works. It doesn't work for everyone, but there's a ton of research out there for people to try it. I'm really,
Hmm.
people have seen me in camera or in person. I'm pretty lean.
Yeah.
And you and I, different body types, a lot of different body types. It doesn't matter. It works for a lot of people. So for me, it works great. I like for today, I did like 2.5 hours of lessons. I had my breakfast at lunch, basically. So at
Okay.
noon, I ate,
Wow.
and all I had was black coffee. And I
Yeah.
put a little L-theanine in it because
Hmm.
that allows the effects of the coffee not to be a spike, like jittery. You don't feel so jittery. So
Yeah.
I put L-theanine, whatever way you want to pronounce it. I put that in my coffee, but that's zero carbs. I don't put any sugar, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Just drink it. And that's kind of like with water. And, I think it's good. So I want you to experiment with that. All you're going to do is
Yes.
tell me, when did you like how long be basically so 7 a.m., 8 a.m. and notice I don't have any time. So this is military time or 24-hour time. So if you ate at
Got it.
9 a.m., just put 9. Don't put a.m.
Hmm.
Just put the number down. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Just the
Yes.
number. Yep.
Yes.
Everything else is looking great. It looks like you got a lot more steps. I know you played a lot of tennis on this day, 20,000 steps. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
cool. And you're eating less carbs lately, which is great,
Yes.
and more
Yes.
protein. So
Yes.
there you go, man. It's going great.
Um, yeah. I hit Costco's like 2 weeks ago. Bought a bunch of chicken breasts and
Mm,
eggs.
so
So I do research and everything is protein right now.
good for you. I'm glad. And you should feel
Thank
better
you.
on the court too. And that's kind of the idea. I want to keep seeing results there. So what we're going to do is since this is on your watch and on your phone, you could always track that on your own. I kind of want to change this now to the question will be and I'm going to change this to weekly results. Okay. So how
Okay.
many miles of hard runs? Can I say that or should I say sprints? What's easier for you? Is sprints?
Either so both is good. Sprint, yes, sounds good.
Okay. So just keep track of the miles of sprints. Now, you don't have to be specific. It could be, close. Okay, I did some running here and there, but I don't want you just jogging. I think that's just not I don't know. I don't like it. And it just I
Yeah,
look at the park and see people run. I see
yeah,
some people that are older and they run and they look slow and they look old. I'm not interested in that. I want to be, I
okay,
mean, if you see sprinters, they're usually young, right? So,
yes,
I mean, my battle is a little different than yours. Mine's father time. But we all have to face father time eventually, right? So
yeah,
I feel like let's train our body to be fast and also
okay,
then trains your body not to get hurt because that's
okay,
when you get hurt. When you like say you haven't sprinted in a while and you sprint for a ball and you pull a hamstring, well, that's because your body is like, I haven't done that in a while. I don't know. I don't have the muscle to do that. So I
hmm,
think we're going to do that. And then let's just do that. I don't want you to sprint every day, obviously. So this is going to be just every week. Okay. So
every week,
weekly,
yes,
and let's just do it on Mondays. How about?
Sounds good. Yes.
Okay. So we're going to start at 1 mile of sprinting and let's try to get to 2 miles maybe. Okay. I'm going to
Yes.
send you a text at a convenient time. So you'll have plenty of time to answer this on Monday, but I'm thinking like maybe around 10 a.m. When do you remember when you don't have any morning texts right now, do you?
No, coach. 10
Okay.
a.m. would work for
I
me.
was thinking 10 a.m., then you have till 2 p.m. to answer your
The
fast
other one.
question. Is that
Yes.
okay? And that's only on Mondays, though. Only on Mondays.
No worries. No, it sounds
Okay,
good.
cool. So we're gonna do that. I'm changing that now. So we just have a little bit change. So it keeps the data. I don't want to delete it. I want to keep this for now, just so you can see it.
Yeah.
But now the questions is sprint. So obviously these numbers don't count. On 7/24, we start the new data points. So you'll see that. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we got that. We got sprints. We got fasting. You got the idea of one-legged workouts, exercises to strengthen. I think we're doing good, buddy.
Thank you.
Good.
I'm looking forward to lose more weight.
There you go. All right. And
Yes.
gain more muscle too. And that you might
Yes.
gain weight by gaining muscle. That's okay. So
Yes.
let's get on the court soon. We'll keep sharing our videos with people to show them what we're doing training wise. But I think we're doing great. I'm feeling good on the court too. I love
Yeah.
training. It's been fun working with you. So thank you. Appreciate the
Me too.
opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
Yeah, I lose weight because of you, to be honest.
well,
I get
I'm
all
I'm the
the
support guy,
numbers
but you're
and
the one doing it,
yeah,
doing everything, buddy.
yeah,
You have to do it.
um,
There's so many people that don't do this, and it's
yeah.
because it's their decision, and you're making the right decision. So you should be
hmm
very proud of that.
Thank you. Yeah. And I like the text too. It's keep me
A little
focused
accountable.
on losing weight. Yeah, a little,
Very
a little
good.
bit like that. Yeah.
All right, man. We'll talk soon, okay? Enjoy your
All right,
night.
coach. Thank you. You too. Bye
See
bye.
ya.
See ya.